Afternoon, guys. Welcome to day 12 in the bootcamp, and today we'll be talking about sketching, wireframing, and information architecture in product design. So let me share my screen, and while I'm sharing my screen, please, I want everybody to confirm if you can all hear me. So can everyone see my screen now? Okay. Okay. I guess everyone can see my screen. Okay. So let's get started. So the topic for today is sketching, wireframing, and information architecture. But firstly, I'm going to take you through information architecture before we go into sketching and wireframing. This is simply because the information architecture will lay the base for the sketching and the wireframing. So I'm going to take you through information architecture first. So let's move. So what is information architecture? Information architecture is the discipline or art of making information findable and understandable. That's a general definition of information architecture, the discipline or art of making information findable and understandable. Let me use the scenario whereby you go to you go to a museum. You go to a museum, you see that artifacts of the same categories, of the same type, artifacts that are similar, they are placed in the same place. If you are going to a museum and they have, okay, there's a section for dinosaurs, you see, so they have different dinosaurs in that section. Maybe there's a section for cultural arts, they have different cultural arts in that section. So this is information architecture for you to be able to know what you are looking for and where you can find them. So, and for you to be able to understand where what you are looking for is, for you to be able to understand how the place is structured, how the content are structured. So that's information architecture in general. So information architecture in relation to product design is the way contents and information are placed and arranged in an interface for easy finding and understanding by the user, and to also know where they are currently, and know how to navigate through the interface. So let me read that once more again. Information architecture in this is in relation. Let me quickly change that. So let me quickly change that. That should be in relation. That should be in relation. So information architecture in relation to product design is the way content and information are placed and arranged in an interface for easy finding and understanding by the user, and also to know where they are currently and know how to navigate through the interface. So simply what am I saying is, let me use a scenario to explain this also. Have you ever been to a app and you know that, okay, you didn't see the profile at the home screen, you didn't see profile at the home screen, and then you see on the nav bar, you see the settings. Your subconscious tells you that, okay, the profile will be at the settings. Then you click on settings, then you can find profile there. Or whereby you don't see settings in the home screen, but you see the profile menu there. You click on the profile, then you see settings. As your subconscious, have you ever been in an app and that thing just come to you unconsciously, like you don't know, you just felt like, okay, this is where the settings is supposed to be. Let me yes on yes or no. So let me know if this has happened to you unconsciously, like you don't know, unaware, you just, okay, this is where the information I'm looking for is. Let me hear from you guys. Okay. So this is the work of information architecture. That is the work of information architecture. It allows you to be able to find what you are looking for.
Is
If you
on.
have four fruits here, if you have 4 fruits that are red, let us say 4 apples here that are red, then you have red strawberries here. Then on one side you have grapes here. You have grapes on one side, and then the color of grape is what? I think, is that not purple or something? And then you have eggplant also on one side. Your subconscious will immediately divide that into 2 groups. Okay, your subconscious will immediately tell you this is group red, this is group purple. Am I right or wrong? Your subconscious is going to tell you this is group red, this is group purple. Your subconscious is immediately going to tell you that. So that's how information architecture. That is why in information architecture we take this to our advantage. We use this as our advantage as designers, whereby people seem to group similar things together. So when we are placing content, or when we are arranging content, when we are structuring our content, I'm sorry, if you can hear me a bit clearly now, please. If you can hear me clearly, please say yes. If you can hear me clearly, please say yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So information architecture shows you how to structure stuffs, how to structure content, so you group similar content together. It shows how to group content in the way that the way you find setting your password, changing your password in the settings, going to change your name, going to change personal information. So this is what information architecture is about. It allows you to be able to find what you're looking for, and as designers, it helps you to be able to structure things very well so that your users can be able to find what they are looking for easily, know where they are easily, and be able to go back to where they want to go to. Can be able to information architecture helps even with navigation. Okay, Akinro, Victor, please, if you want to say something, just go on and let's. Victor, okay, thank you.
Sorry, I found out that the screen it became smaller, so I was trying to see whether it was from my end or you were the one that reduced the
No, I
screen.
think you should check from the side. I'm presenting only my Figma screen, so it should be bigger on your end. Then should be
Okay,
bigger on your
all
end.
right, thank you.
So, as I said, information architecture also helps you with navigation in an interface. It's information architecture that shows you how to structure your content so that you know, okay, this is where I am currently, and this is where I want to go to next. So this is where I'm going to click on to go to where I want to go to. I want to go back to where I was. This is where I'm going to click to go back to where I was. So this is what information architecture helps you with. It helps you to know how you structure things together. Like for example, now let's say you are going to your account settings. Let's say for a fintech app now, you are now going to your account settings. You're going to, for fintech app, we have the normal general settings and we have account settings. So I want you guys to participate in this now. What are the things you know that you will find in account settings in the fintech app? What are the things you know that you find in account settings? You guys can drop it in the comment box. Let's see. Let's go. What are the things you know you find in the account settings? Okay, let me start. Let me give you an example. You find things like change password, change passcode, change transfer passcode. So then, who next? Next person again. Who's going? Who's going next? Maybe I should just edit profile. Profile. Okay, who again? Anybody again? Nobody. So you find things like. Let me just quickly say this out. You find things like change passcode. Okay, set transaction limit. You see, set transaction limit. Okay, set up 2FA, that is two-factor authentication. Make payments. I think some of that's not going to be there. Make payments is not. Upgrade accounts, yes. Upgrade accounts. Upgrade accounts is there. So what again? Anybody else? Just guys to suggest. Yes, just suggest. Guys, okay, change transaction pin, okay, amount. Mhm. So let's just stop there. You see, the way your subconscious has been able to group these things in under the account settings, that is the skill as the power you are as a designer is going to. They want you to embody these the skills employers will want you to have. So because once your content are well structured, are well placed, are well arranged, that users can be able to find what they are looking for without stress, can be able to achieve their goal without stress. Trust me, you solved about 60% of your users' problem. Trust me, you solve 60% of your users' problem. Once you've created the idea, then start ideating, and then you want to do information architecture after you've brought out the idea you want to. So if you can do your information architecture very well, that users are able to navigate this very well, you solve 60% of your user problem. Like you've gone 60% through in your information in your project, your mobile application design process. Because this is a crucial moment for you. At this stage, you can either break the user experience or make it great at this stage. So once you embody this skill, you are good at it, then the rest is just beans cake for you. Just beans cake for you. So let's move on. Since you know what information architecture is now, I believe, let's move on to the next. So benefits of information architecture: it makes navigation in an interface easier for users. It allows users to find and know where the information or things they want are. It helps designers. Let me quickly make some changes. So it allows users to find and know where the information or things they want are. It helps designers know where to place content for users to be able to find them. It helps designers know how to set hierarchy in content. So when I mean hierarchy in content, what am I saying? Like which content should come first? Which element should come first? So when I'm saying content now, I mean everything on your interface, both the button. So I'm not saying that they're supposed to come first. Is it the text that is supposed to what allows you to know this? Self-design when framing. One, so you are able to ideate very faster when drawing, sketching, or uh, creating. It allows you to down what am I going to put here, okay, but to find this quick. So it allows you and work very fast. One element information. These are three elements in the architecture: the content, the interface, what type of information the users are looking for, how important that information to them, the content, then the why are users looking for this information, what is information going to do for the users, the looking for it. So then the user that is looking for the information, and then why are they looking for the information? Elements of information architecture. So once you guys. I think the server pushed me out. My network is good, but sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. I think my network is good. I think the server is pushing me out. It's pushing me out. My network is good though. If you guys can hear me, please say yes. You guys can hear me, please say yes.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Then let me share my screen again. Let me share my screen again. If you can see my screen, please say yes.
Yes, I can see it.
So let me go over this again. The content, the elements of information architecture, the content, the contents, the context, and the user. So when I say the content, what is the information the users are looking for? What information are they looking for? What information are they looking for? How important is this information to them? Why are they looking for it? And how important is the information to them? Then go to the context. The context. Why are they looking for this information? And where are they looking for this information? And what's the importance of this information to them? That's the context also. Then the user, who is looking for this information? Who are the people that are looking for this information? And how have they been previously? How have they been searching for this information previously? How have they been accessing this information previously? And how is the information also important to them also? So that's the three elements of information architecture. And if you can be able to define this properly, you can be able to define this properly. You can be able to define this properly. I promise you, you guys have solved about 90, about what? About 90%. Sorry, not 90%, 60%, about 60% of your user problem. When I say 90, that means I'm undermining the rest. So if you're able to solve your information architecture, you've been able to solve about 60%. So outlining this now, the content, the context, and the user, you've made it easier for you to carry out your information architecture. So let's do a practical here. For example, now let's say we are analyzing a fintech app as we've been doing before. So, and the information now we want to create information architecture now for is the user's balance and transferring of money. So, in the content is the balance and transferring of money. Then, how important is this content to them? Users, when you log into a financial app, mobile application, a fintech app, what you want to see first is your balance. Am I right or wrong? What you want to see first is your balance. You want to know how much is remaining. Just like how if you want to transfer money to your friends and family, what you go to check first is your balance. You know how much you have in your account before you want to transfer. Am I right? And even sometimes you guys don't even people we don't feel safe at times with our banks and we want to like, okay, let me check what my balance is. Hope these people have not removed. So you want to know your balance immediately you are entering your bank app or your fintech app. Am I right or wrong? Please, if I'm right, please say yes.
Yes, yes, you're right.
So when we say balance now, it's very important to you as a user. It's very important. So the context, so the context now, why is this important? Because you want to see your balance immediately you enter your app, or you want to see your balance, you want to be sure of your balance, you want to know what your balance is. The context. Then who is the person? Then the user. Let us say they are busy professionals. Busy professionals. So for now, let us say we have a blank screen here and we want to place your balance now. So where are we going to place it? We're going to place it in a place whereby you can be able to see it very well. You can be able to see it easily. So that's why you see most fintech app they place the balance at the top. Yeah, most times at the top. Many of them, yes, at the top. Where you can be able to see it and they make it bigger for you to be able to notice it very quickly. Understand? That's why you see at the top you have your balance, and then you have maybe $30,000 or $40,000. That's why you're able to see. That's why this information is very key to the user. So they made it bigger and bolder and placed it at the top, so you guys can be able to spot it quickly. So you get me. So the transferring of money now. So if you are using the mobile app, mobile bank app now, one of the main reasons you want to come into the app, apart from checking your balance again, one of the main things you want to do there is to transfer money, because these are one of the main reasons they created this app, is to transfer money, to make transfers easily. So then we looked at it and say, okay, when next can we have transferring of money? And they looked at it and they, okay, the next thing is transferring of money. What is the context? Transferring of money. Why? But the context to be able to transfer our money real quick. And then the user is a busy professional. So where can we put this? Where can we put this? So that is why they put it. Some put it immediately after the balance, below the balance. That's why some put it below the balance, and some put it beside the balance. So after you see the balance finish, your eyes can quickly guide you to see the transfer button, and you can click on transfer easily, right? And they make this stand out from the rest of the elements on the screen. So your eyes can be able to trace it and see, okay, this is where transfer is, this is where to receive is, this is where. So your eyes can be able to trace it quickly and see it after the balance. You're getting me? So we started information architecture, right? So what's the next thing you want to do again? View payments and the rest. Then you can have view payments following them. Then what else again do you want to do? So that's why you see on your for your quick actions, you have them on the home screen. So when designing a home screen, there's a lot of information architecture that goes into designing a home screen. So that's why you see your quick actions like transferring of money, paying of bills, receiving of money, or sending of payment link. You have them on your home screen because these are key actions you want to easily get to. It's not as if they could not create. They can create these things. They can create them in one page, whereby you have to go to another page to see them. So having them on the home page, quick links, make it easier for you to navigate it. So that's information architecture in progress. So after that, they looked at, okay, settings, which settings, okay, users are not going to be doing much settings on the mobile app, not going to be doing much settings. So then what's the next? What's the next thing? What's the next thing? So you can see some of them will have maybe promotion, advertisements, or some of them will have your recent transaction history there. You have your recent transaction history. Okay, you want to know who you have sent money to or how the money is coming into your account. So, for example, if you are a busy professional now, you're someone who owns a business, and you want you are using your mobile application, your mobile banking app, and using your bank account to receive money from your customers. Then once money is entering your account, once money is entering your account, you want to be able to see them immediately, right? You want to be able to see them immediately. So that's when they look, okay, where can we put recent transaction? Okay, money that is coming in and money that is coming out. Okay, if we say, okay, money that is coming in alone, but we also want to see money that is going out to know, okay, who did I do transfer to? And okay, so they now put, okay, under recent transaction. So you see this money in now and money out. They are different. Money in and money out. They are different group now. They are different group. Money that is coming in and money that is flowing out. So they now look, okay, for users to be able to get this, for users to be able to get this, how can we do it? Okay, let's group it under recent transaction. Okay, then put it under recent transaction. Then they use green to notify money coming in, and they use red to notify money going out. So that's information architecture in progress. That's information architecture in the process. So this is going to help you now to structure your elements on screens so your users can be able to find them easily. Your users can be able to find them easily. This is going to help you on structuring. So it's not that if you just want to sketch something, you just start from your head, you just want to sketch anything. No, it doesn't work like that. So there are rules and logic behind this. So after you've done your information architecture, then you can now start going to sketching and say, okay, I want to sketch, I want to sketch, I want to sketch. You understand what I'm trying to say? And this process itself this process is also interwoven into themselves. So you might have created your sketch and felt, okay, this element is not, you can still come back again and come and change your information architecture. It's not a linear process. It's interwoven into each other. It's like baskets. It's always like into each other, into each other, into each other. You know, this traditional basket we have in Africa, and it's always into each other. So it's not a linear process. So let's move on. So the principles to consider while doing your information architecture, principles of information architecture. So you have the principle of objects. The principle of objects. This is for you to take your elements, things on your screen as living objects, as living things and not objects. So this says that you should take everything on your interface as living things, as not just objects, because everything has its own life cycle, and they have the tendency to, okay, may not be the important thing again for users, and maybe users want to go to next important things. So you should take them as objects. You should take them as living things. All your elements, all your elements, you should take them as living things, whereby some will later be out of date and some information might not be required at that early stage anymore. It's just like, let me give you a scenario now. Have you ever logged in? Please, if you've gotten this, just say yes in the comment section. Have you ever tried to use an application, and then after you logged in, finish, after you sign up, then you see this tab, maybe in the home screen, that says, tells you to complete account setup. If you have ever seen it, please let me hear yes. Guys, let's make it interactive. If you've ever seen a tab whereby you see something like a complete account setup, then you see maybe 2/4 or 1/3 or things like that. Okay. Okay. Said yes. So
Okay.
this is it. So assuming we said, okay, that is our final information architecture, then we have that tab there, we have other elements. If you say, okay, this is our final information architecture and we are not going to change anything again. So what if the user completes the account setup? Would that thing still be there?
Confirming implementation.
No, it's not going to be there again. We have to take it away. So you see, you see as a living thing, it has expired. Like its own life cycle has ended. Its life cycle has ended. So you have to take it off there and add more important. That space is taken. You can add more important the next important element or the next important content there. You understand what I'm saying now? So the next principle, which is the principle of choices, is when you're sorry guys. Sure. So when you are doing your information architecture, you shouldn't give your users too many choices to choose from. You shouldn't give them, because as human beings, when we have too many we find it hard to decide when we have too many choices. It's just like, okay, let's say for example, you don't have a favorite chip you are going to eat. You don't have a favorite chip, so you want to try out chips for the first time. So then you enter a minimart, and on their chip shelves, now you can see like about 10 different chips, and you just only want one. You can see about 10 different chips. So making a decision from these 10 different chips will be very hard. But let us say you have three chips just on the shelf now. You have just three chips. Making a decision among these three different chips will be very easy, because you can easily determine which one to go through, which one to take among the three. You can easily analyze them and, okay, which one should I take? But once you have 10, if you have 10, you can't easily decide on which one to go with. You might say, okay, this one and this one, they have like similarities. They have similarities, and you're like, okay, should I take this? Should I take this? No. Okay, let me take this. Oh, but this has this. This, you can see you can't easily decide. So don't give your users many options to choose from. Don't just bombard them with too many choices. You want to limit your choices when you want them to choose. You want to limit your choices. So that is, you don't give them too many choices to choose from. Understand? Just like how the navbar is now. If we say, okay, we have like 10 items, 10 things on the navbar now. So for the user to then now say, okay, we have 10 icons on the navbar. 10 icons on the navbar. Let's say we have 10 icons on the navbar now. You now say, okay, look for where the blog content is, or look for where the newsletter is now. And you now start clicking on them one by one to know where the newsletter is. You start clicking them one by one. That's going to take a lot of time and you might get frustrated. Once you have like four on the number, you can easily scan the four of them and okay, decide based on what I told you that woman we seem to group similar things, seem to group them together. So you can just look, okay, let's say we have news here. Okay, you see news, okay, newsletter, okay. This okay, you click on news and then okay, you find your newsletter. So you don't give your users too many choices to choose from. Then we have the principle of disclosure. The principle of disclosure. So this principle restrains you to like not bombard your users with information. Not to bombard your users with information, whereby the information you are showing them should be what is necessary and not bombarding them with information. What you are showing them is necessary, is like what is necessary and not bombarding them with information. For example, let us say you have a card here now, and on this card, you want to click on this card, you go to the next screen, you go to another screen. Once you click on this card, let us say you have like open let us say open my school portal. Then let's say you now have a lot of let us say you have a lot of items, like a lot of text content on this card. I bombard them with, so they can't even easily scan through to decide on what the card is for. But once you just include just the necessary information, like okay, you have your title, open my school portal, then you see latest news and this and that and that and that on your school. So you can easily decide, and you have another card like see school news. Okay, see latest news on school and everything. So you can be able to decide quickly. You can be able to decide quickly on where to go to find what you are looking for. You understand? You can be able to decide quickly. And then let's move on. So you can be able to decide quickly. Then the principle of exemplars. This principle of exemplars. So this said that if the content you are showing users are not self-explanatory, they can't easily get what the content is about. Like if you have a card here, and on that card you don't have a clear, the card is not explanatory by itself. It's not self-explanatory. You can't easily decide what this card is for. 90% you are not going to click on that card because you'll be wondering what is this. You are not going to click on that card. So elements or objects on your interface content, they should be self-explanatory, that you know what they are and what they work for. You get me? That you know what they are and what they work for. Then let's move on to the principle of front door. So this principle simply states that not all your users, like 50% of your users, 50% of your users is not going to come through your front door. So when I mean by front door, I mean the home page or home screen. So 50% of your users are not going to come through the front door. They are not going to come, but they are not going to come through the front door. So you might get a link from another website that say, okay, transfer money from. So once you click on this link, you might just go to the transfer page easily, immediately, and not go through the home page again. You might just go to transfer page. So this principle states that 50% of your users are not going to come through the front door. So it's essential for them to know where they are and how to go back to where they were, or how to navigate through the interface since they are not coming through the front door. Let's say, for instance, your front door, you can be able to navigate to every part, but since they are not coming through the front door, they should be able to know how to go to where they want to go to, and they should be able to know where they are currently. Understand what I'm trying to say? It's just like maybe you came through the back door in a museum, you came through the back door, you'll be able to know, okay, this is where I'm going to. You understand? This is where I'm going to, or this is where I can pass to go back to where I'm going to, or this is where what I'm looking for is. So that's just it. The principle of the front door. So the way you put your content, you should be able to your users should be able to know where they are. If they don't come through the front door, they should be able to know where they are and to go to where they want to go to, and maybe to go back to where they were. Understand? Then we have the principle of multiple classification. So this is state that your users should have more than one way to look for information. So that's why you see in most app you have this search bar whereby your users you have this search bar whereby many of your users can search for what they are looking for. Like for example, now let us say you're on a blog site now and you're looking for the sports section, and okay, maybe you couldn't find the sports section easily, so you just say, okay, this is the search bar, then you click okay, motorsport, then you can be able to find what you're looking for very easily, right? So this the principle of multiple classification. There should be more than one way for users to be able to find information, for your users to be able to navigate or find information on your interface. You understand? There should be more than one way. That's why you see most applications they include search, but that's why you see e-commerce, like information loaded, content loaded applications like e-commerce, like news news app. So you see that's why they have the search bar. So you can be able to find what you are looking for very easy and very fast without having to stress yourself to looking for navigation. You understand? So you can be able to find what you are looking for very fast. So you have the principle of focused navigation. The principle of focused navigation. This is say that when you are creating navigation, you should deliberately process how you are going to create it. You should deliberately create your navigation so that it stands out from other elements and users can be able to know that okay, this is what I'll click on to go to other, this is what I'm going to click on to navigate in this interface. Just like how you see your nav bar on your mobile application is different from every other on-screen element you can see on your screen. You can see that's navigation. That's why I told you that your transfer button is most times created differently from every other item, every other content on the screen. So you should be deliberate with how you are creating your navigation so you guys can be able to focus. You guys can be able to focus and know that okay, yes, this is I'm able to interact with this. You should space them very well. You space them very well. You space them by their function. So you might want to put maybe for quick actions, you might want to put them in the middle, then put your navbar in the um, bottom, and maybe you want to put your notification. So you space them properly. You design them deliberately so that users can be able to decide to know okay, this is interactive, this is not interactive, this is so you design them deliberately. Don't just design them absent minded. So users can be able to focus. So the principle of growth, just like I've said earlier, you should um take your in the principle of when I said in the principle of objects, you should take every content on your screen as a living thing. They will grow over time. They will grow over time. Some content will be needed again, and then you have to change. And that's why you see some mobile app, you see upgrades in mobile app. That's why you go to Play Store and tell you, okay, upgrade your mobile app. Some content will fall off, just like UBA. You know, that time when UBA had that beautiful screen, not the one they are using now. They had that beautiful screen, that beautiful home page. So growth, they have to take some things away like lifestyle, some you have to take it away and okay, know how to place it and where to place it. So look at your product as a living thing, it will grow over time. So some things are going to fall off, some new things are going to be added. It's going to grow over time. It's going to grow over time. It's not going to just be static forever. It's going to grow over time. So those are the principles of information architecture. Let's move because we have just 1 hour 30 minutes for today. So let's move real quick. So we move on to, so let me just say this now. There are different ways in which you can carry out information architecture. There are different ways in which you can carry out information architecture. We have site mapping. We have site mapping. We have what's the name again? Trying to remember. What we use most times is site mapping, and we have what we call hierarchy. Setting it by hierarchy. So I want to create a fig jam. What we use to create. So most times in most organization, you're going to be using sitemap. Are going to be using sitemap in most. Are going to be using sitemap most times. You're going to be using sitemap most times. Understand? So let me show you something real quick. So while the file is loading, why is this file taking time? Okay, it was loaded. So when I say sitemap now, I mean let me draw this rectangle. This, don't be afraid of this. This is just like Figma. It's also just like Figma. It's easy to navigate. It's just like Figma. Most of the shortcuts and everything just like Figma. So let's say this home screen. So this basically I'm creating an information architecture. Let's duplicate this and say this for, let's say this for your mobile app, and then we have home screen here, and let's say this our nav bar. So we have like four contents, four different icons on our nav bar, and we have this one for settings. Then we have this to be, let's say news. Let's say we have this one to be categories. Then we have this one to be, let us leave this as home. Let's leave this as home. So what I'm trying to say now is from this home now, you can be able to navigate here, you can be able to come here, you can be able to come here, you can be able to come, sorry, you can be able to come here. So then under each of these now, let me do a different rectangle. Under each of these here, you have contents that will be there. So under category, you can have, like, let us say shoes. You have under categories, you can have shoes, you can have men wears. So you know what they are looking for under categories. You can have men wears, men wears. Let's say this for an e-commerce, you can have men wears. Sorry for the typo error. You can have men wears. You can have home appliances, and so on and so on. Then on news, we can have latest news. Can have latest news. Sorry, let me do this. Can have latest news. Then we can have you can have newsletter. So on. So the things you can group together. So your company or your product owner, your client is going to give you all the information he wants. He's going to give you what he wants the app to do, all the information he wants. So it's now for you to now start grouping them together. Start making information architecture. So you know where you are going to place each element. You are going to know where you are going to place each element. So this is just a rough. So let me show you. One I've done before. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Um, let me say real quick. So I want why I'm hammering on this information architecture is I want you guys because this is a critical. Okay, let me use this. Let me use this. No, 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 not this, not this, not this, not this, not this. Looking for my feed jam files. Can't I find any? Okay, okay. This is one here. Okay. So if you guys can hear me, please say yes. Let me know that you guys are following. Please say yes if you guys can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. So you see now, just like what I've been trying to explain to you the other time. So you can see now, this is information architecture that's already been done. You can see under account now, have a grouped profile, payments, purchase history, saved, recently viewed, wallet, login or logout. Under account, you can see, we put customer support under help. We're able to put customer support, FAQ, contact details, privacy policy, return policy. See, under cart, how we're able to group this contents under each other. You can see how we're able to group them. How we're able to group them. You can see. You can see how we're able to group them under each other now. And then navigation, how they will go. From home screen, you can go to categories. From home screen, go to accounts, go to carts, go to navigations. Then on the home screen, we did okay the hierarchy on which the text are going to go or the content are going to go. We have the search bar at the top. We have top deals, flash deal, brands, deal of the day, product listing. You can see. So that's information architecture for you. That's how it's going to be information architecture for you. So let's move on to the next thing. Let's move on to the next thing. So I will share some um medium what is goal like again? I'll share some medium news, will I call it news? A medium article, yeah, let me call it an article. A medium article with you that you can use to explore further on information architecture. I'll share some with you after this class now. So sketching in product design. Sketching is critical to design in the sense that it allows you to quickly ideate and illustrate ideas and solutions on a problem or how to structure your design elements. So let's say our we've created our information architecture. Now we want to see how we can put this element together on screens now. So that is where sketching comes in. Okay, now just like how I've said now that okay, you want your balance to be at the top. So when I'm saying sketching, what you need for sketching, you need your pencil, very important. You need your piece of paper, and if you like, you can use eraser. And if you like, not sure, you have your pen and paper. You have your pen and paper. Then you start. You start. Then you draw a rectangle first. So I'm going to show you an example. Include your top bar, include your bottom bar. Then you start placing. You start sketching. Okay, let us have balance here. Let us have this. Okay, let's say we are trying to solve a problem of transferring money. So we want to transfer money. So if they click on this button, then you draw another screen. They go to another screen. Okay, what are the information they are going to enter? Let's say they are going to enter the account details and the account details. So we have the account number, the bank. So yeah, we have a button here. Okay, so you started sketching. You're just going to sketch your ideas. You're going to sketch out your ideas and how they will follow you. So when you are creating your designs, this will guide you when you are creating your design. So you can quickly ideate completely ideate on ideas. Okay, how do I want to do this? Do I want to make it more creative? Okay, if I do the button like this, will it make sense? If I do this like this, okay, let's follow this step. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, while follow this principle, let's try to be a little bit creative. So that's sketching. So you're able to get your ideas. So if you just go to your Figma directly and say, okay, let me just start designing, your brain might go blank because of you did not think of any initial idea, you don't think of any foundation idea to go on. So it might take like about 10 minutes. You might even have creative block. So for you not to even have creative block to prevent this, that's why sketching is very critical for you to take your ideas out very quickly. You can just come here. Okay, this, and this, and this, and this, and that. Illustrators do it. Even Business analysts, they sketch. So a lot of people sketch a lot of time to pass out ideas. So it's very critical in design. So then we move to wireframing in design. So what's the wireframe? A wireframe is a basic outline of a digital structure which shows the structure and arrangement of the final product. So when I say is a basic outline, so after you sketch finish now, and okay, let's say you want to start showing the skeleton of how your product is going to look like. You sketch, you've done your rough sketch, so you want to make it neat now and start showing how your content will look like, and you want to share a wireframe with your clients or stakeholder, your team members to show them, okay, this is what we've edited so far, and this is how we've done it. Okay, we have one image here, we have one image here. So that's what wireframing is, and we have two types of wireframing. We have paper wireframing and we have digital wireframing. A wireframing, a paper
Recording
your
is
sketch
on.
can okay, this is what I did here, this is what I did here. You can be able to signify what you did on your sketch, but for someone who is coming from the outside, it might not know. So this is why wireframe is good now to now be able to pass your ideas. So you now have your wireframe, which is more neater than your sketch on your paper wireframe. It's more neater than your sketch. Then maybe you have your search bar here, you have your image here, you have your cards here. So that's one thing for paper wireframe. That's how paper wireframe is. So it's more neater. And digital wireframe is the one you do on Figma. You can use any design tool, not even only Figma. You can use any design tool to do your sorry, to do your digital wireframe. You can use Sketch, you can use Adobe, so you can use anything to do your digital wireframing. So importance of wireframing. Wireframing are efficient for early testing and easy to iterate. So most of the time you might want to analyze what you've ideated with your stakeholder and your persona. You might want to analyze it, you might want to make reference with your persona and look, okay, this solution we have ideated now, this is the flow we've created also with the wireframe. So from this flow now, does this solve this user problem? Does not solve it. Okay, let's change this and let's change this. So wireframe are inefficient. They're easy to change for early testing. They're easy to change. So it's not as if you spent enough much time to do things like the button, to do things like the button, button color, to do things like the text color, to start arranging content. So they are very efficient and it allows you, sorry, it allows you to be able to test your ideas early and be able to reference them. So it's not when you now created high fidelity design, you've created the one you have your high fidelity mockups where you have your colors, you have everything, and then the stakeholder now come now and now tell you that, no, I don't want this, I don't want this, I don't want this, I want you to put this here, I want you to change this. No, I don't want this. That is a whole lot of stress. You understand? A whole lot of stress. And when I mean easy to iterate, what is iteration? Iteration is making changes on previous version of something or making changes on previous version of things. Like let's say you have your screen here and you are iterating. Okay, we don't want this, so that's iteration. Making tweaks by making changes by making tweaks on some elements. So that is you are iterating. So wireframes make it very easier for you. So they are easy to dispose. They are very easy to dispose, and then they are very easy to create new ones. So it doesn't give you like the stress, mental stress that, oh, I've created this. Do you know what I went to create this button? Do you know how many variants I've created with this button? Do you know how many components I've created with this button? And you want me to now start delete? So not so that's why wireframe is very good. And wireframe are inexpensive, just as I've said. Wireframe are inexpensive and they are fast to produce. So can they're fast to produce. You can create them very quickly. And wireframes allow you to spot early problems in design. Just as I said, wireframes allow you to spot early problems. So you know, okay, when you're analyzing it with your user persona, with your user problem, with your problem statement, you know that okay, the flow we've created, this idea, this solution we ideated. Okay, this is the persona here. This person is a busy professional, but we have about 5 steps or 6 steps before the person achieves his goal. But this person can't wait; is in a hurry. So with this work, okay, let's shorten it down to about 4 steps. Let's see if it's going to work for this person. Let's shorten it down to about 4 steps. You understand? Let's shorten it down to about 4 steps. Let's shorten it down to about 4 steps. So you are able to spot early problems in your design. So that's one of um importance of wireframe. You're able to spot things very early. You're able to spot, okay, is this good, is this not good? So you're able to spot things very early. And elements in wireframing. Okay, when I mean elements, what does wireframe include? If you see a wireframe, how do you know this is a wireframe? So we have things, elements we used to recognize stuff on wireframe. So we have in a wireframe now, we have things like rectangle. We have rectangle, use rectangle and for buttons and for images. So for images, when you have your rectangle, you can have a line that is cross on them. So anybody that comes to your wireframe and see a rectangle that has cross on them, they're able to know that, okay, this is an image. And for your buttons, when you have buttons, here, you can just add your little text what the button is about on the button. Then you have a rectangle and then you have the little text on it. As for images and buttons, you can have, so then for circle, you have avatars and then profile. For circles, you have avatars and profile. So if you are going to include profile in your home screen, then you can have a circle and maybe you have an X in it. Or if you like, don't put the X, but you have a circle. So once a user come and say, okay, this is a circle, they are able to know that, okay, this is a profile easily. And then you have lines for text. So if you have long lines of text and you don't want to include them in your wireframe, you don't want to start to stressing yourself. So you can just use lines. Just how you create with L, by clicking on L in Figma, and then you create your lines. You create your lines. So we are going to be doing one wireframe chat. We are going to be doing one wireframe. I think we have about 22 minutes left before the class end. We are going to do one wireframe now. So let me show you a paper wireframe. So that's the end of everything, but let me show you a paper wireframe real quick. Let me show you a paper wireframe. So this is what a paper wireframe looks like. You see, it's different from sketching. This is what a paper wireframe looks like now. I see it's different from sketching. This is what one looks like. So I quickly tried to come up with something to show you guys in the class. So can be able to know that, okay, on these notifications, you can see lines there now. You can see these lines represent text. You can see lines there now. You can see they represent text, and you can see the boxes with X there now. You can see their images, and I tried, drawing some images so I can quickly pass some information. You see, I tried drawing some images, so you can see here you have X here. That's outline that, okay, yes, these are images, 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 these are images. You can see here now you have your checkout order. This is a button. So it's not supposed to be X here, but you have your checkout order now. You can see that's a button. Click on it. You've created your button. So now, based off on this paper wireframe we did now, let us use it to create a digital wireframe. So I'll be taking about, let's say, two. I'll be using two to create a digital wireframe for you. So let's let's um let's move on. Please, if you guys can hear me and see my screen, please confirm. Please, before I move on, if you can hear me and see my screen, please confirm. Okay, let's move on. Okay. So, okay. So to create a wireframe now, let's start a digital wireframe. First of all, you bring in any artboard of your size, like the screen, your phone screen. So thank God Figma, we have phone screens here already outlined in Figma by default. Figma had made it by default. So then let's say you want to use Android large now. Let's say we are using Android large. Let's use Android large for example. Let's use Android large. So we have Android large here. So you brought in this. So we want to create a digital wireframe. So let me bring this out, or let me duplicate it. Let me duplicate it and bring it out so we can be able to see it clearly. Not having so, and I might be taking this pin. I say pin. This panels away, like this right hand side panel, left hand side panel, so we can be able to zoom in very well and see. Let me just crop this out and show only the home screen. Let me crop it out. Let me crop it out. Let me crop this 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 out. Okay. Let me just resize it, make it a little bit. Let me scale it up a bit. Okay. We have something to work with here. So let me just take away these pins beside. So let me zoom in a bit so you guys can see. So if you guys can see it's very zoomed in very well, please say yes. So I know that you guys can see it's zoomed very well. Because of clear view, that's why I took away those pins. You guys can see it very clearly, please say yes. Let's move on. Let's move on. So now you can see in this paper wireframe now, we can see we have a top bar here and we have a nav bar beneath. So let's name this as our home screen. Let's name it. What I said, it's good to name your layers in Figma. It's good. So you click R. So I'm using shortcuts here now. So to be fast, you click R and then you draw a rectangle for your top bar. Draw a rectangle for your top bar. We have our top bar here. Then duplicate it and bring it down here. And bring it down here. We have our nav bar down the bottom bar. And then we start. Okay, let us increase this top by a bit. Let's increase it a bit. Let's increase it a bit. In this top bar now, we have our avatar here. We have text here, which is this line, which represents text. So we have our avatar here, like our profile here. So we click O to draw a circle, and then hold Shift to make a perfect circle. So let's just say we do this, and I'm going to bring back our panel. I'm sorry. I'm going to bring back our panel to be able to change our colors. So let's give it a different color so you guys can be able to see it very well. Let's give it a different color, and then we have our line here, which represents text. Then we give this a line here, a line here. Now I want to make it bigger. Let's make it 2. Let's headline, or let's make it 4. So it's something, it's an headline text. We make it 4, and then let's say these 3 lines here we have there now. They represent our hamburger. That's just like representing of icon. So let's click on L and just try to draw 3 small lines to represent our hamburger for navigation. Let's just view. Let me zoom in. Zoom in so you guys can see. So you bring it here. Let's duplicate and bring it here. Let's duplicate and bring it here. Then have our hamburger here. Have our hamburger here. Have our hamburger here. And then what do we have next? We have our search bar, right? You can just use rectangle and do a rectangle. Do a rectangle here and give it rounded corner. And give it rounded corner. Give it rounded corner. Let's see, since it's very rounded, let's just give it rounded corner of 100 to make our house also very rounded. So you can see it's very rounded now. So we have our search bar. Then for the images, we have the new arrivals, Nike, Converse, and Adidas. Then we're not going to be creating that though. So we just use rectangles. Just use rectangles. You bring our rectangle here. You create one rectangle here. We have 4 of them, right? Create another rectangle here. You bring another rectangle down. So started creating wireframe. Bring another rectangle down here. Bring another rectangle down here. Okay, can it be so you can see the panel very well? Please, if you can't see very, please you might have to go to full screen on your own on your GT. You can have to enter full screen to be able to see very largely, because I think this is at normal size. So as I said, for images you have rectangle with lines making an X in them. So let's have our line here inside this rectangle. Then we draw our line. We draw a line making an X, then another line here. I'm making X, making X. You see? So just for to be quick, don't have much time left. To be quick, let's just copy this and then let's bring it here. Let's copy it and bring it here. Let's copy it and bring it here. Let's copy it and bring it here. So you can see we already have our images. So we started creating wireframe. We have our images here. So let's put this in the center. We have our images. Then we have text, latest shoe trend. So let's say we don't want to use latest shoe trend. You don't want to start writing text. You just want to have our text there. Then bring this line. So already not to create another line. That's why I'm doing that. So this is since this is big, it's like a title. Let's use something like 6. So you can know, okay, it's text that is very big. Or let's use 8 to make it very big. So let's use 8. So let me change my zoom value. Come. Let me just zoom to fit. So you guys can see both of them. So we have our line now, which is representing this title, latest shoe trend, and then you can see under this we have another image box and X. So we create our rectangle. Create our rectangle. Then we have our line. Our line. Another line. Another line here. So started creating wireframe bar. Another line, and then you just for the nav bar here now you can just use these little rectangles and a different color for them. Just little rectangles. And then we duplicate them. Sorry, let me change their colors. Let me make it darker. And make it darker. Make it darker. Okay. We have just about I think 12 minutes left or 11 minutes now. So let's be fast, real quick. Let's be fast. Sorry, that's the. Let me just change the color to this one. Color. So we have our navbar icons. So if you take this to a designer now and ask the designer to explain everything here now, this designer is going to be able to explain everything perfectly for you. He's going to tell you, okay, this is an image, this is an image, this is an image, this is an image, this is a search bar. So the designer is going to be able to explain this clearly for you. You go to any designer and say, okay, what is this now? The designer is going to be able to explain what's this profile, this title, this hamburger, these are navbar icons, these are images, these are text, these are images. So if you go to a designer is going to be able to explain this. So that's why we say elements of wireframe. So these elements of wireframe, they are the same all throughout. That's what most every designers use. So that's why you see we have a common ground whereby you go to every designer and they are able to tell you what this is. It's a common rule. It's what everybody use. You understand? We have a rectangle with X with lines that makes X as images. We have you can see our sidebar. You see how we created our sidebar, a rectangle with rounded corner. We have lines for text. We have circle for profile. We have these small rectangles for navbar icons. Then we have this for hamburger. You see, that's so in your own free time you can then go. Since you have the access to this file, you can just duplicate it, and then on your own spare time you can then start maybe if you want to sketch your own, you can sketch your own and then do a digital wireframe on your free time. You can come here, use this one that has been sketched out, and then create your own wireframe. So that will be all for today. So don't want to waste your time. So okay, let me answer your question, Ridwan. You don't need grid system yet in wireframing. You don't need grid system. You're just trying to pass out your information real quick. You don't need grid system. And if I may ask, can the view be enlarged so we can see the panel clearly? So I've talked about that. And then I want to tell you something. By going to the Figma community, so I think some people had problem going to the Figma community last time. I saw some chat on the. So if you want to go to the Figma community, this is you see this explore community in your left hand panel on your own Figma home screen here. See this explore community. Once you click on it, it takes you directly to the community tab. Takes you directly to the community tab. So this is the Figma community. This is the Figma community, and in the Figma community, you can find things like icons plugin. You can explore files like files that people have put on templates on Figma. You can find templates. You can find things like illustration. You can find wireframe tools. You can find wireframe tools. You can find a lot of things on this community. There are many things you can find on this community. You have UI kits. You have wireframe kits. You have a lot of things. Interaction files. A lot of things on. You have persona files. You have. Let me just say persona templates. Let us say you look for persona templates. So once I enter, you see, bring up a lot of, you can see, we have a lot of persona templates now. So you can come here and take any template you like, and just copy them, take them to your own file, and then start doing what you want to do. If you want maybe web design templates, and you feel okay, you want inspirations and you want templates, so you can use to practice. Okay, you can just go back to community and just say web design. You can see
Mujib,
responsive landing page design. So you have a template here.
Mujib, Mujib. Hello, Mujib.
I think I've shown you that on.
Mujib, can you hear me?
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, can you hear me, Mujib? This is Gabriel.
Yes, I can hear you. I can
You
hear
can
you.
extend the class by 20 minutes.
Sir?
You can extend the class by 20 minutes, so don't rush.
Okay. So this the Figma community has opened up, so you can see. This is it. Let me open the file for you so you can see. So this the Figma community. There are unlimited resources. You can find unlimited resources that from people that have created, and even assembled design itself. We'll have some resources to be putting out for you guys to see. So let's view. Let me go back. Sorry. Let me go back. Let me do this. So these are templates. You can just from this template now, from this responsive landing page template now, you can just look for inspiration. They get to know how this person designed their own. Get to know how this person designed their own. Know how the structure worked. How the person did their own. You can see. This is the person's design system now. You can see a very robust design system. You can see. So let's go to design. So you can see the landing page now. You can see it now. So let me see if this is actually responsive. It's not responsive. So you can see now, you can from this now, you can know how to create. You can if you want to learn more, and then come here and say, okay, this is how the person did theirs, this is how they did theirs, okay, this is what they did, this is what they did. Then if you want to use that process, you can come, and if you felt okay, there are some elements they created and you didn't know how they created it, and you want to see them, you can just click and then see how they created it. Look at the properties panel, you see how the properties are, you see how they've created it, how they did their alignments, everything. You can go back and do yours. We have persona templates. Also, we have persona templates where you can find persona if you want to use. So we have a lot of things here that you can be able to use in the Figma community. So it's easy to find. Just come here. Just come here. Explore community. Once you click on explore community on the left hand side panel, in the bottom left hand side, click on explore community. You see, this is your Figma community. So that's it. So On wireframing and information architecture, guys. David said he can't see my screen. David, please, I think you should um refresh your network. And then so Victor said, please, how did you go to where you did the information architecture? Is it on Figma too? Yes, it is on Figma, but a different type of file on Figma. So once you are in your home screen, the top right hand side of your home Figma home screen, you can see where we have plus design file to create a new design file. Where I showed you where you can create a new design file, you have plus design file, and you have plus FigJam board. This is a FigJam board, so it's used for collaboration. So once I click on this, it takes you to a FigJam board, FigJam file. You can see. So this is used for collaboration, for thinking, for whiteboarding. So there's what we call whiteboarding in design, whiteboarding section whereby you guys share ideas, take notes, and so you can see you can use it to create sticky notes, just like whiteboarding. You can say, okay, user A likes fresh tomatoes. So you can see, you can use it to create sticky. You can see the name is there now. So if you have another person in the file and the person comes and create a sticky note now, bring this sticky note, create it now. The person's name will show on it and be, okay, this is the person that created this sticky note. You know that, okay, this person that created this sticky note, and you can also change the color, just like Figma. You don't need it, just like Figma actually, just like Figma. So that is it, just like Figma, just like Figma. You can see this is another one there. This is another formation architecture now. So you can see now, this is another information architecture. You can see, this is for your website. You can see how it is now. You can see it's very large. You can see. So that's that on FigJam, opening FigJam. So what's the next question? What's the next question? Okay, I think. How do you link them together? Salma, do you mean both both files, like the FigJam and the normal design file? Is that what you mean? Salma, please confirm if that's what you mean. And guys, you have any other question? Guys, ask your question, because the last assignment now you guys are struggling to do it because you guys don't ask question in class. You don't ask question. So ask your questions now. Ask questions. So you can be able to help yourself. Ask questions. So Sama, if Sama just joined, let me repeat what I said. When you say please, how do you link them together? Do you mean the FigJam file and the design file? Is that what you mean? Is that what you mean? Please confirm yes. And is that not? Please can state out what
Good
you mean.
afternoon. Sorry, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What I meant was that, like, the other time we were trying to make explanation about like category, this thing, like there was this thing that was like this prototyping stuff
Mm-hmm.
for it to link together. That's what I'm asking.
Okay, for you to link your design, your screens together.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, it's prototype. It's prototype. When we get to that stage, you guys will show you that.
No,
When
no,
you
no.
get to that
Like
stage,
you did something related to it. That's what I'm
related
asking.
to.
So like to link something together, like there's this arrow going from
Okay,
down,
okay, okay,
just like a
okay,
flow
okay,
chart.
okay, okay, okay,
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
okay. Think. Sorry, no, 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 no. I'm showing the wrong file. Sorry. Okay. You meant this arrow, right? Is this what you meant,
No,
Salma?
no, no,
That's not
no.
what you meant. Then, what are you? What do you mean?
Yeah, I think when you were explaining this information architecture,
Mm-hmm.
yes, those,
Okay, 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 okay. These arrows,
let me see.
this like this ones. Sorry, this ones that are here now. Is this what you mean, Salma?
Sorry, please hold on.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes.
This is what you meant. Okay, yeah, it's the arrow is to link them together, so you can be able to know from your home screen. You see from your home screen, you are linked is linked to the category. So from your home screen, you can go to categories. So from categories, you are linked to search, and so from categories, you can go to this, and from accounts, you can go to this. So it's to link them together. So know that okay, this ones they are related together. That's what it is to link them together. So
Yeah. But how do you go about it? That's what I'm asking.
the arrow.
Yes, yes.
Okay, let me do this. So once I have a rectangle here. Let's create this rectangle. I have a rectangle here. Sorry, I have a rectangle here. Let's give this yellow. Let's give this yellow. We have yellow there. We have yellow. Okay, we have something yellow. And let's have this here. Let's give it maybe red. So if you want to link them together, so once you select a rectangle, now once you created a rectangle, you select an object, even not just a rectangle. Let me create a circle also. Let me create a circle so you don't know you know it's not only a rectangle. Let me create a circle also. Let me create a circle also. Create a circle and then create a polygon also. Let me create a polygon, a rectangle. A triangle, sorry, a triangle. So you have this. So once you select an object and then you go to this end, you see where you have these four dots at each side of it, at the four sides where you have this dot. So once you hover on this dot, you see something like an arrow that will come up. So once you hold and drag this arrow, you see it brings out an arrow where you can use to link. So you just hold and drag and then take it to where you want to link. If you want to link it to this, you take it here. If not that, you take it here, or you can bring it down here. You can see. And you can also adjust this arrow by clicking on them, and you can adjust them. You can bring them down like this. You can adjust them when you click on the arrow. You can adjust them anyhow you like. You can adjust them, or you can take them up like this. Just the same for circle also. You can see once I hover on this dot by the four sides, hold and drag, you can see I can link them together. Once I click on this, hold and drag, I can link them together. Once I click on this, you can see the four dots are still showing. So I click on this, hold and drag, I can link them together. You see? Once I click, hold and drag, I can link them together. You can see now, that's how I linked them together. So let me show you for the rectangle so you can also link.
Yes.
You can see. That's how I link them together. Oh, sorry. You can see. Once you select it, and you see those four dots. So once you hover on those four dots, you see the arrow where you hold and drag. So I think that
Okay.
is clear now, right?
So it has to be done on this whiteboard, right? Whiteboard alone, right?
Yes, on the fig jam. So it's for whiteboarding. That's the fig jam. It's for whiteboarding. That's fig jam. Fig jam. And
Okay.
then also one thing is if you've created this in your fig jam, and you don't want to start sharing SS file, you can just copy it and then bring it to your design file, and then you can just paste it in your design file. But most times it's advisable to leave it in your fig jam because it's not editable and it's not even it might look a bit
Just like a
scattered
picture.
here.
Okay.
Yeah. So just it's advisable to leave it in your fig jam. Advisable to leave it in your fig jam. So the next question, please,
Yeah,
guys.
thank you.
You're welcome. Next question, guys. Guys, ask question. It's the assignment we gave you guys now. You people are saying they should give you spare time, and we've only seen seven submission. Guys, what's going on? Ask questions. Even if it's about your last assignment, ask questions. Ask questions, guys.
Uh,
Ask
okay.
questions.
I want to ask. Someone asked it on the group, but I think you skipped it, and I think I'm interested in the question.
Okay.
So what's the difference between low fidelity wireframe, mid fidelity, and high fidelity wireframe?
Okay, low fidelity wireframe. So when we are saying low fidelity wireframe, we mean things like your paper wireframe. You can also call them low fidelity wireframe. Your paper wireframe, you can also call them low fidelity wireframe. Now, when we mean high fidelity wireframe, and this digital wireframe I created now, you can call it, let us say, the mid fidelity wireframe. So when we mean of high fidelity wireframe, in this high fidelity wireframe now, maybe you've done your testing with your low and mid fidelity wireframe now. So this high fidelity wireframe is like a final wireframe you are going to create. A final wireframe. So in this wireframe, you have things like you cannot include your text there. You cannot start including your text. You cannot start including your text there. But you still have it's still void of things like your image, still void of image, and you can just start creating dummy buttons. But those are not the buttons you are going to use for your interface. But it's still void of images, still void of colors, understand? Still void of images, still void of like combination of colors, and so that's just what it is. But you can just start adding your placing your text like your text content on it. You understand what I'm trying to say? So did you get that, Peter?
Okay. Yes, yes, I got that. Then for the high fidelity, will
Okay, it's Victor.
the grid
Okay.
system now be used?
So for the high fidelity, if you wish to use a grid system, yes, you can use a grid system. And if you don't want to use, you can just leave it. You can just leave it. But I would say in your high fidelity, you should probably use the grid system. You should probably use the grid system. And Peter, okay, go on.
Yeah, I want to ask, why do I need to design from scratch? Because looking at the templates, I saw some templates. Looking at the templates, why do I need to start from scratch when I have almost everything I want on a template
What do you say?
most of
Come
the
again,
time?
please.
Did you-
Come again.
I said, why do I need to design from scratch when I can have almost everything I want on a template?
So,
I hope you understand.
are you talking of the wireframe of or design in
Did you
general?
get that?
Yeah,
No,
I
no, I'm
got
talking
you.
no, design in general. Design in
Design
general.
in
I
general.
I saw some templates. I saw,
Okay.
yeah,
So
it's
this is it now.
like
So
like I do WordPress and
okay.
you know, you, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Go on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Hello.
I can hear you.
Yeah, I say like I do WordPress and most times we just get okay. I do WordPress and most times we just get templates and we just customize and that's it. I
Okay.
think it's similar to what we have here. So I
Mm-hmm.
think is it that most times I'm going to be getting what I actually need on this template, and I don't really need to design from scratch, or like I know it's going to
So
make uh, me a lazy designer somehow, but I'm just asking.
you can work smart if that's what you wish, but you risk your product having the same look as somebody else stuff, having the same look as somebody else stuff, and if the template you're copying, if the person doesn't give you the right to use it for commercial use, might be at a risk of a lawsuit. So there's this what we call design laws and the rest. So might be at the risk of a lawsuit if the person who made puts the template online didn't make it free,
Hello.
didn't license it free for commercial use, so might be at risk for a lawsuit or court case. And then one thing is your client's needs will most times differ from these templates. Your client's needs will most times differ from these templates. And your clients might need you to be very creative. Understand? Might need you to be very creative and want to understand how you went through every step. And you might need to explain how you went through every step in your design process to your client or your team. So if you just go online to the Figma community and just take a template and then things like personas, you can use templates. But when it comes to actual design, you have to design it yourself. You can still use things like icon sets or but when it comes to design, you have to design yourself. You have to design yourself
Okay.
because you have to show how you went through the design process, how you solve this problem. You can't just arrive at an answer without the workings. You understand me? So when a client comes to you and say, okay, design this and this and this and this for me. So you can't just come show the person design and not explain the work you went through to to make these designs, and you can't be able to defend the decision in these designs. You understand what I'm trying to say? So if you use somebody's template, let's say you use somebody's website template now, and they now ask you, why did you place this element here? Why did you place this element here? Why did you place this element here? So what will you say? You won't be able to say anything. So that is why it's good to create this from scratch. That's why it's good to create this from scratch. So you can be able to defend your work, understand, and not be at the risk of lawsuits. So did you get that?
Yeah. So if I'm going to use it,
But
I
for
have to be very creative and make it look
yeah,
uh,
very
somehow
creative
different
about it. And
from
most
the
times people
template.
just use
Yeah.
it for practice. Most times, just use it for practice. Most times. So Oyetunde Olawale
So
said, "Okay, Peter, are you still
thank
asking a
you.
question?
No, no, no,
Okay.
no. I get you. Thanks for
Oh,
discouraging me about using template.
not discouraging you. I'm just telling you the plain truth there. It's not discouragement. It's just the plain
Yeah,
truth
yeah,
there.
yeah.
So
I get you. I get you.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oyetunde Olawale said, network knocked me out, put me for just a few seconds, and when I reconnected, I met responsive page on your screen, sir. Okay, no, no, no. We are just showing how you can be able to open templates and resources on the Figma community. That's all great. Not we didn't say anything about responsive page. We didn't say anything about responsive page. We are just showing how you could open templates and files on your Figma community. So, any other question, guys? Let's have your question now,
Okay.
guys.
I have,
Okay, Victor, go on.
okay. So in a case where I'm trying to do for my work,
Mm-hmm.
like presentation, one for work from the beginning to the end, will I have to include script, the fidelity that everything, that story,
Yes,
everything all together. So okay,
yes. When you're doing
I'm
presentation,
then
sir.
how would I'm going to save the jam file image and then now cut it back Figma as I don't so that in the how I do that would be on, the fig jam file design file.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so where would the presentation be done? Is it going to be in the design file? If
So
yes, how would I import the
if you are creating your
fig jam?
presentation, you can just copy your FigJam files. You can just copy them and bring them into the frame the frame you are making your presentation on in Figma. You can just import them there, and then just like let me show you something since you can see my screen. So let me say for example I have this. Oh, twice. Oh, we're looking for this file since. Thank you so much. So I have this frame now. And let me say it's a white frame. Let me make the background of my Figma more darker so you guys can see what I'm trying to make it darker. Let me see. Just more darker so you can see the white. So let me say this is my presentation slide now. I want to make presentation with this. So let me say, okay, I've now gotten to the part where I want to show my information architecture. So I can just come to my FigJam here. I can just select everything like this. I want to show, copy it, Control C, bring it to my FigJam, Control V, you can see. And if it is bigger than the slide, you can just press K and then you can scale it down to the size you want. You see, you can scale it to the size you want. That's just it, and you can show. So the importance of showing this now is in your presentation is that to show, as I've said, to show your workings, to show the decisions you made, and your low fidelity wireframe also to show the decisions you made. If you made change after you made this wireframe, so to show the iteration you made. Okay, if you took out this object, took out this element, took out this element, then your final wireframe. Okay, these are now what we included, so you can show your workings, and then you can be able to back them up with facts, and you know that you just created them based on assumptions. So you can take it to a client and just say, okay, he sees the finance and just be like, man, did you go and copy other people's design and bring for me? So they want to see what you've done to arrive at the final answer. You understand? So including this in your presentation matters most times. And even in case study, that's why I say most times in case studies you see this information architecture in case studies most time. So that's that. I think I hope I've answered your question, Victor. Victor, I hope I've answered your question. Who again? Who again?
Yeah, Salma, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, please, I want to ask that what's the difference between like high fidelity wireframe and the low fidelity wireframe? Like, can we use like maybe for example, you want to like construct, you want to do it, you want to create a website now. Like, what's the
Mhm.
use of the high fidelity? Like the name, low and high. Like, what's the difference?
So it's just variations. It's just like different steps, not like variations from them. So this one is more detailed, and this one is not very detailed. You understand? This one is more detailed, and this one is not. That's just the difference. One is detailed, and one is not that detailed. You understand? One has more content, like text content in it. So one has is text replaced by lines. So it's just like variations, and sometimes changes will have been made from the low one before you get to the high one. So it's just like variations. Just like variation. So in your design, you can use if you like, you can use low fidelity. If you like, you can use mid. If you like, you can use high. So anyone which you please, anyone you feel okay, your team are going to be able to recognize and be able to translate very easily. So you can use that. That's just that based on the tool. That's just on the application. That's just that. So read one said, please. I asked the question. Okay, Henry, you can come up and talk. You can come up.
Hello everybody. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah, thank you. When it comes to wireframing, uh, it depends on the stage you are in the design process. Hope you guys get. If you are still at the very beginning of your design, you get, and then you are still ideating. Basically, you are still ideating. Then you'll be using a low fidelity wireframe. But then, as you move on in your design, you are getting close to your final decision. Okay, this is what the actual product will look like. That's where you move to the mock-up or the high fidelity wireframe. So it's not as if anyone you want to use. So it just depends on where you are in your design process. Are you getting close to the final work, or you are still ideating? If you are still ideating, a lot of changes will be made. So use your wireframe. That's a low fidelity. But then when final decisions are made concerning the look and feel of the products, then you can move to high fidelity because you will not be changing a lot. Although you will still change, but the rate at which you'll be changing will be different from when you still have the wireframe as a low fidelity. So, sorry, I keep saying wireframe because I believe wireframe generally is for low fidelity, while mockup is for the high fidelity. So let me not bring another word. So let's just use low fidelity wireframe and then high fidelity wireframe. So low fidelity, you are still at the initial stage. You are still ideating. Use your low fidelity. But then once final decisions are made, then you can move to high fidelity. So that's just my contribution. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you so much, Henry. I think you guys got that right. So you guys got that. And read one. I think you just answered your question right now. So another question, guys, before we move on. I think we've used more than our time now. Class is up. So if you have any questions, you can ask before we go. Another question, guys. Another question. Nobody else. Okay. So as I said, if you guys have questions, you can practice the designs. Victor, do you want to ask a question? Because network is lagging. So I think that will be all for today. So the Figma file is accessible to you guys. So if you need to go over it again and go and see the definitions and things out there, you can go over it and then check the definitions again. And the Figma file is available to you guys. You can just, if you want to make changes, you can just duplicate and then. So I think that will be all for today. Thank you so much for being present in class, and thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Um, That will be all. So goodbye, guys. See you in the next class.